There's a moment buried deep in royal history that people keep circling back to, the quiet spark that eventually exploded into the full-blown feud between Prince William and Prince Harry. For years, the brothers looked inseparable, shared friends, shared jokes, shared chaos. But somewhere along the way, that closeness slipped through their fingers, long before California, long before Netflix, long before Spare blew everything open. And according to royal experts, the unraveling didn't begin where most people think. It began with a simple piece of advice, the kind that sounds harmless until you realize who's listening. William, the steady older brother who had famously taken a decade to propose to Kate, reportedly pulled Harry aside back when things were moving fast with Meghan. And in the gentlest, most big brother way possible, he basically said, "Slow down. Are you sure?" That's it. One conversation. But for Harry, it hit like betrayal dressed up as concern. What William meant as caution, Harry heard as doubt. Doubt about Meghan. Doubt about his judgment. Doubt about the woman he had decided was his future. And that, royal insiders say, was the first real crack. From that point on, the distance grew quietly, like a hairline fracture under pressure. At Christmas, Harry allegedly complained that William wasn't welcoming Meghan warmly enough. That he wasn't rolling out the red carpet. That Meghan didn't feel embraced. William, who was famously reserved with newcomers, probably thought he was doing fine. Harry, already raw from that earlier conversation, took it personally. And then the wedding came, the global spectacle, the family choreography, the behind-the-scenes tension no one saw. People who worked closely with the royals said that once the confetti settled, it was obvious the two couples weren't aligning. Meghan and Catherine weren't bonding the way the public imagined. But what's fascinating, and what experts stress now, is that the real issue wasn't the wives. It was the brothers, long before the wives were even in the picture. Meghan didn't break the bond. She magnified the cracks that were already there. Then came the avalanche. The move to California. The Oprah interview. The Netflix docuseries. The memoir Spare, where Harry described physical fights, insults, tears, and grievances that had clearly been festering for years. Once the book dropped in 2023, insiders say the communication between the brothers froze completely. By Queen Elizabeth II's funeral in 2022, they barely interacted, two men standing inches apart with miles of silence between them. And every interview Harry has given since, each one dipping back into wounds and memories, has only pushed them further apart. The perception used to be that the problem was Meghan versus Kate. But Harry himself has corrected that narrative. The real fracture was between him and William. The tension didn't start with marriages, or headlines, or tabloids. It started with two brothers wanting different futures, and one conversation that confirmed just how far apart they truly were. And here's the part that still stings for royal watchers. Brothers can fight. Brothers can clash. Brothers can drift. But once betrayal, or the feeling of betrayal, enters the room, the damage doesn't just heal with time. It lingers. It reshapes everything that comes after. William saw himself as protecting his brother. Harry saw him as undermining his happiness. Two truths colliding. And from that moment, the unraveling never stopped.